Back on Adapt and Respond with me, RJ Young. If you are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, like this video, and answer the question in the comments below. Who do you think is going to win the 2025 Heisman? As I got odds from BetOnline, who is partnering with the show for the start of the college football season. Very excited about that. And you've seen a lot of content with their image. And frankly, I'm having a good time talking about the odds and talking about the spread and talking about the money line, even though I don't bet and I don't believe that I'm ever going to bet. However, I think that knowing these lines and these odds are good indicators of what people think and what the public thinks. It's why we do college football rankings, frankly. It's kind of the same thing. It's not necessarily that you believe that this person is going to win. You know that the public believes that this person is going to win. And that gives us a good jumping off spot. It also makes it really difficult for others to enter the fray, right? So if you got long Heisman odds and you play on a football team that isn't very good, you're probably not going to end up there. But if you got long Heisman odds on a team that ends up being very good, say Ashton Jeanty last year, it could be a lot of fun to watch how these things change. I also think that it's interesting to find out which non-quarterbacks make the cut. Remember, Travis Hunter was a non-quarterback that won the Heisman Trophy. Year before that, Jaden Daniels, right? Then we got to go back a few years, get to Devontae Smith, wide receiver. It's really difficult to be a non-quarterback in this day and age and win the Heisman Trophy, even as a running back, because the Heisman Trophy used to be a running back award before it was a quarterback award. But looking at the odds now, I capped this at 25-1 because I can get to 40-1, and they go that far. But I thought 25-1 was a good place to cap it because it gets us to our second non-quarterback. So I'm going to start at the bottom of BetOnline's Heisman odds and go through them. So 25-1, where we're starting, Alabama wide receiver Ryan Williams. Makes a lot of sense, right? Ryan Williams is the second best wide receiver in the entire sport behind Jeremiah Smith. And if he gets the kind of service that I think he's going to get from Ty Simpson, you could see him turn into the kind of guy that Rome Odunze was at Washington. Meaning, we're not going to overcomplicate this. Now that we got Ryan Grubb back at offensive coordinator and we think we got a guy that can run the offense, we're going to feed the football to our wide receivers, to the guys with the best hands, and we're going to try to take the top off the defense as often as we can. Coming off a 9-4, they expect to make the college football playoff here in 2025. And at 25-1, if you got the funds and you think that's a good investment, sure. I mean, for a non-quarterback and one from Alabama to win it, it's not that far-fetched. But again, that's not Nick Saban's Alabama now. That's Kalen DeBoer's Alabama. Then at 20-1, interestingly, Dante Moore, another guy, not unlike Arch Manning or like the other 15 new starters in the top 25. Like, that's wild. We only got 10 guys that started week 1 last year that are starting week 1 this year in the top 25. Dante Moore is one of those guys that's getting his opportunity. This is as much a bet on Will Stein and that offense and Dan Lanning in Oregon going 25-3 the last 2 years as it is on Dante Moore, who was a 5-star coming out, who did end up starting at UCLA, probably got a little bit ahead of himself. Then Chip Kelly decides he's going to take he's going to go to Ohio State. And Dante Moore goes in the portal, comes out at Oregon, spends a year as an understudy to Dylan Gabriel, and now he's ready to rock and roll. At 18-1, Julian Sayin, another new starter, right? Another guy that hasn't played football at this level in any meaningful way. But he's getting 18-1 because he's the quarterback of the defending national champs who also got, that Martian over there that is Jeremiah Smith, a dude from another dimension, man. Carson Beck at 18-1. He's getting the same odds as Julian Sayin, even though he started at Georgia and led Georgia to an SEC championship and another college football playoff appearance. This is Miami, though. This is not Georgia, and that's one of the reasons I think 18-1 fits. Nico Iamaleava at 16-1 is wild to me. UCLA is not good, and Nico wasn't great last year either. He was mediocre by Tennessee standards. Like, that's the thing, man. I really understand that you want to believe that he's going to turn UCLA into a monster, but it doesn't feel that way. At 16-1, I don't see it. I would have him having longer odds to win the Heisman Trophy than Ryan Williams at this point. Lenore Sellers at 16-1, South Carolina. They expect to be good this year. He expects to be good this year. He develops as a passer. that could be good money. But that South Carolina schedule and that SEC is something different. Same thing with John Mateer at 16-1. I think he's coming into a team that went 6-7 last year. I got him ranked as number 10 team in the country in large part because I think he's that good. Remember, the last time that Oklahoma had a 3,000-yard passer and a 1,000-yard rusher, it won a conference championship. It made the college football playoff. It won 12 games. Now, that was when Kyler Murray was quarterback. But my point here is John Mateer was 3,000-yard passer at Washington State, and Jay Knott the last year that he was healthy, 1,300 yards. If you can get that kind of production out of those guys in the SEC, yeah, John Mateer's probably going to rise up in the Heisman odds. Drew Aller at 16-1. I still need to see Drew Aller beat a good team. I'm going to keep saying it until it's no longer true. They're 1-15 with James Franklin against top 5 opponents. And a big reason is Drew Aller, who threw away the opportunity to beat Notre Dame and get to the national championship game and get some vengeance against Ohio State. But now they're 0-7 the last 4 years against Michigan and Ohio State, or, the two teams that you probably need to beat if you're going to try to win a Big Ten championship or a national championship. Last year, it was Oregon, and they couldn't get past them, even though it was the new money. DJ Lagway at 16-1. This is more of a comment on DJ Lagway's injury history, right? This is a dude that can't seem to go more than a couple months without some injury to hold him out of either practice or play. Wrap that dude in bubble wrap. Get him on the rehab program, because when he plays, Florida is great. When he starts the game, they're 6-1. When he starts and finishes the game, they're 6-0. The one was Georgia. They should have beaten that Georgia team if he could have finished. If he's healthy the whole year, 16-1 feels really, really good to me. Jeremiah Smith locking in at 12-1. That is the best odds for a non-quarterback going into the 2025 season this year. Really, really interesting stuff, because you would expect the quarterback to have better Heisman odds than the wide receiver, but because of the kind of juice Jeremiah Smith showed, particularly in the playoff last year, it's difficult to say he's not the best player on that team. He just needs the service. And if Julian Sayin can my goodness, I'm getting so excited about myself. Julian Sayin, I'm just going to start calling him Super Saiyan. It's easier for me. And, well, we're all here for the Dragon Ball Z references. I need you to be Brawley, Jeremiah Smith. That's what I need. I need you to be Brawley. I need you to take it to another level, right? We saw the 75 catches, 76 catches for 1,300 yards, something like 15 touchdowns. I think you got an 1,800-yard season in you. I think you got a 100-catch season in you. And I think Brian Hartline is not going to make the mistake that Chip Kelly did and just try to play man ball until such a time as, hey, we've got 4 and you don't. We're just going to do that until you can stop it. And if you want to bracket him, cool. We got Carnell Tate. We got Brandon Hennis. And if we want to run the football with a power back like C.J. Donaldson, or do everything back like James Peoples, or even Turbo Rogers, we got it, right? We can do that. I think that Jeremiah Smith is in line to win the Biletnikoff Award going away. It's about whether or not he's going to win the Heisman Trophy. That's going to be interesting. And then you get to the 3 guys that most people believe have the best shot to win this. 2 are returning starters. Cade Klubnik at 12-1. I mean, this is a guy who's really grown up in a short amount of time, who, with his legs, carried Clemson into the ACC championship and then won them an ACC championship, made the college football playoff. I didn't see it with him coming out of high school. I really didn't. I was going, the arm, I don't like his mechanics. I didn't think he had a powerful enough arm to get it done. He has proven me wrong. He's matured. He's become the kind of guy that it's easy to rally around, and is the best quarterback that Dabo has had since Trevor Lawrence, right? But also could be the best quarterback that he had since Deshaun Watson. We'll see, right? Just depends on how this season goes, because they go 16-0. That's going to be remarkable. And if they can get this win against LSU, it's going to be easy to see people really climbing aboard the Cade Klubnik train for a Heisman Trophy. But they got to get past LSU. And Garrett Nussmeier threw for 4,000 yards last year. He is the top returning SEC quarterback in that metric. He's got guys at wide receiver, Berrien Brown, Nick Anderson, to name 2. right? They're going to be hellacious defensively. Harold Perkins is going to try to make hell for Cade Klubnik. Same thing with, I mean, goodness my, they got Whit Weeks, they got Harold Perkins, they got Patrick Payton. It's going to be fun. I can't wait for that game because LSU got to travel to the real Death Valley and see if they can't go get a W. They'll go get a W. We might be talking about Garrett Nussmeier being in a race with this guy at the top, and that's Arch Manning at 6-1. Guy who has not started more than 2 games, and a guy whose best win is Mississippi State. But also, his name rings out. People know him the way that you know Shedeur Sanders in the NFL. He's a popular guy. He's a charismatic guy when he wants to be, even though he's got that aw shucks attitude, but he can play. And with DeAndre Moore, with Ryan Wingo, with CJ Baxter, with Travion Wisner, they're going to have everything they need to be great in 2025. And if he is a 3,000, 1,000 guy, which is not out of the question, I don't think Steve Sarkisian wants that because he's going to he's going to hand the ball to the running backs. It can be great. Now, I think if Texas makes the playoff, it's going to be easy for me to talk about him throwing for 4,500 yards and 45 TDs. But they got games against teams that are good. Like if I'm going to pick it, that Georgia game is the one they lose. Going to Sanford's hard. Ask anybody that goes to Sanford. Nobody's been able to win there since 2019. If they can win there, cancel it. It's his. We're done with the Heisman ballot. They're undefeated and they beat Georgia and Sanford. They make the SEC championship game. He's going to win the Heisman Trophy because he will be that integral to their success. You might disagree. And if you do, let me know about it in the comments below. Deuces.